Okay, in this video we're going to look at the Tuya Smart Bidirectional Zigbee CT clamp and energy meter, how I installed it and how we set it up in Home Assistant. Let's start by having a look where you can purchase this product. Amazon have got it here for $35.99, which is quite quick delivery, but AliExpress has exactly the same product, £17.31. They have the Zigbee version or the Wi-Fi version, a few pence difference between the two. But you can see here there's a considerable saving to be made from ordering from somewhere like AliExpress. You just have to be a bit patient on the delivery, which can take some considerable time. Right, we'll start with showing how you wire up the CT clamp. You can see here there's the screws for the connectors. We've got the mains, live and neutral, and the CT clamp wires S1 and S2. Now the CT wires come very long. I don't need them that long, so I've cut them down to make them the length that I need them. S1 is black wire, S2 is red wire, and just tighten those down. The only other two that need connecting are the mains, live and neutral. Got a live, which is in this case on this lead the white wire, and the neutral the black. And that's just wired in there and screwed down tightly. Then we've got this protective cover which goes over the top to protect the wires and protect you from electric shock. Here we've got my electrical cupboard. I'm just going to take you through how to install the CT clamp. I put a little hook in the wall to hold the CT clamp. The clamp itself goes on a specific way. It's got an arrow there. That hooks over the live coming from the grid. Plug it in and switch it on. You can see here in my electrical cupboard I've got a live and a neutral on the left, which is coming direct from the grid, which feeds into my smart electric meter, and then I've got a neutral and a live coming out, which goes to my consumer unit, and I've hooked that CT clamp over the live coming out of the smart meter. So I'm putting the CT clamp in pairing mode by holding down the button until the light flashes. And then on the Zigbee 2 MQTT, I click the permit to join button, and we should hopefully see the CT clamp picked up by Zigbee. There it is, it's joined, it's starting interview, successfully interviewed, configuring, successfully configured. If we scroll down to find that, that's the one down here. You see it's just joined with a random name. If we click on that and rename it, and we'll call it CT clamp, and update Home Assistant entity ID and rename. Now that, when I go into here, device and settings, and look at entities, and search up CT clamp. These are the entities which were just discovered. We can go here, clamp power, and this is the current clamp power, 525 watts, 557 watts. This is the previous reading, the history readings that we looked at in my other videos. If you haven't checked out my other videos, please do so. There's the Home Assistant intro and my solar DIY setup video. I'll now show you how to integrate this solar energy meter here. If we head on over to Hacks and Integrations and go to the front end, search for Power Flow Card Plus. This is a custom integration installed via Hacks. You just need to install this Power Flow Card Plus add-on, which will allow you to integrate with this lovely energy meter. We go over to the front end and click on Edit Dashboard and edit here and show Code Editor. We can have a look at the configuration of the Power Flow Card Plus here. Starting with the top solar one here, that's the solar entity here. Down the bottom left here is the grid. We've got production on the top and consumption on the bottom. And the home is both of these added together. The cupboard here is done as an individual with the sensor entity there. The icons just to represent whatever you want, colors, names, and so on. This Power Flow Card Plus requires 2 separate sensors for production and consumption. And if we take a look at what sensors are produced by this CT clamp, we go to entities and CT clamp. We have got the power here, which shows you how many watts is being consumed or produced. There is no difference between that. The only difference is the energy flow here. You can see at the moment that's in producing, and it changes from producing to consuming depending on which direction it's pushing. The CT clamp power here, the watts shown won't change. It will say 200 watts, but you don't know whether it's producing or consuming. That's only indicated by the energy flow, which is consuming or producing. So we need to get 2 sensors out of 1 depending on what it's doing. And as you can see here, the producing would equal 0 while consuming is positive, and you can see it just flipped there. Now the consuming is 0 and producing is 470. So how do we do that? That's a bit trickier. That's done via the file editor. So this configuration YAML has many settings in, a lot of stuff you can do within the GUI, and there's an awful lot more you can do here in YAML code. Okay, if we look at the line starting 270 here, CT clamp consuming and CT clamp producing. It's creating a new sensor called CT clamp consuming. And what it says is, if the state of sensor.CT clamp energy flow is consuming, then it gives the value of CT clamp power into the CT clamp consuming, else equals 0. Meaning if it's not consuming, then make this value 0. If it is in consuming state, then make this that value. Exactly the same with CT clamp producing, except we're going to look for the producing value instead. So CT clamp producing is saying if the state of the sensor CT clamp energy flow is in producing state, then take this value here, which is the CT clamp power in watts, and put it into CT clamp producing. Otherwise, make the value 0. So that says that these 2 sensors, one will be in a 0 state and one will be in a positive watt state, depending on if it says consuming or producing. That gives me 2 new sensors which represent the states of consuming or producing. And if we take a look at that in settings, devices and entities, and do CT clamp, you can see here we've got CT clamp consuming and CT clamp producing. Now the producing is where I'm pushing back to the grid. So that doesn't happen as often as consuming. I probably pull more than I push. So if I look at producing and go show more, you can see, let's drill down to today. Today's quite a sunny day, so it's not too bad. Let's have a look from, 7 o'clock. Let's go up to 4 o'clock. You can see this is wasted energy. I'm pushing this back to the grid, 875, 900 watts. Obviously at around this time, 12:30, there was some cloud probably, so I wasn't producing that much solar. I was using more than I'm producing, so yeah, that value was 0. Alternatively, if I go back and have a look at CT clamp consuming, this is what I'm pulling from the grid, and do the same. So the start date is today. Let's go from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. You can see at 7 o'clock in the morning, I'm not producing much solar energy at all. Therefore, I'm pulling a lot of energy from the grid, 600 watts from the grid. You can see instances like this. Someone's put the kettle on, making a coffee or whatever. That's 3,261 watts for, I don't know, 1 minute or something, 30 seconds, the amount of time it takes to boil the kettle. The same for these, that's probably kettle, which is a big energy user. So if we go back to look at our card here, the custom power flow card plus, you can see that the sensor.ct clamp producing, that was the sensor that we set up in the configuration YAML, and the sensor.ct clamp consuming, those values are represented here. At the moment we're producing 925 watts of solar, and my house is only using 640, and therefore we're pushing 288 back to the grid. In reality, what this is actually doing is this represents the CT clamp, which is on that positive wire coming out from the grid. That's monitoring how many watts is flowing across that wire. And then you need to work out which direction it's going. Is it coming in or is it going out? And that's what we did in the configuration YAML, was to divide that one value into two, depending on whether it says it's consuming or producing. Producing is pushing back, consuming is what's costing me from the grid. And if we take a little look at the energy meter for today, this grey line here is what it's predicting the solar generation is going to be, and this is what I'm actually getting. They very rarely sync up. And these values up here represent solar produced, grid power consumed, and grid power produced. That's how much it's cost me so far from the grid today, £1.34. So let's have a closer look at this CT clamp and see whether the values displayed agree with my smart meter. Let's just pause this screen for a moment so I can take you through the values on it and what they represent. I apologise for the poor quality. It's holding up my iPad next to my smart meter readout, so the quality is not great. The top yellow box showing power active is my electric smart meter, and that's what's installed in my electric cupboard, and you can see it circled here. The bottom is part of Home Assistant, and I've positioned it so we can take a look at the energy meter in the middle and the values to the right hand side. So you can see here we've got the solar circle, which represents the amount of solar power being produced at that moment. The bottom left grid at the moment shows 685 watts. Now that's being pushed back to the grid, and the bottom value, which is currently showing 0, is what I would be paying from the grid if I was pulling power from it. The bottom right, home, is showing 730 watts at the moment. Over to the right, we've got CT clamp power. That 685 watt is exactly the same value as the bottom left there in the grid circle. The CT clamp energy flow is showing producing, because we're producing so much solar that we're pushing back to the grid. Once I'm using more than I'm producing, that producing will change to consuming, and the arrows will change in that bottom left hand corner. The Solax measured power is the current output from my solar panels, currently 1,424 watts. Then we move down and I've got the kettle and the kettle wattage. Now the reason for that is during this test I'll show that I'm producing so much solar that I'm not using it. I'll switch on the kettle, which uses an awful lot of power, almost 3,000 watts, and you'll see that change from producing to consuming, and we'll see the values change accordingly. The top values in kilowatts and the bottom values in watts, so it's a rounding. Okay, so let's hit play and see how accurate this thing is. We started with the smart meter saying it's 0.70 kilowatts, 0.69 kilowatts, which roughly lines up with the CT clamp. Alexa, turn on the kettle.
Okay.
Now you can see the kettle's come on there, and the kettle's consuming 2,920 watts. And you can see that's changed from producing to consuming. My solar panels are still producing 1,423 watts, but the kettle is consuming so much that the whole house is now consuming 355 watts, which is 1,423 watts plus whatever the kettle's using and the rest of the house, and that makes up the total value of 3,550 plus watts that my house is consuming. And you can see the smart meter saying 2.12 kilowatts, which is about in line with the CT clamp. So it's quite accurate. And we will turn off the kettle and watch it go back into a producing state. Alexa, turn off the kettle.
Okay.
So we've turned off the kettle there, and you can see that's straight away gone back to producing power, 1,423 watts. So in summary, this CT clamp is really good. It's a good price. It seems to show correct values. I'm really happy with it. If you've liked this video, please click like and subscribe, click the little bell, and see you on the next one. Thanks very much.